This is how I made these 3D model cupcakes in Blender. We're going to start by deleting this cube, then we're going to hit Shift A and add a cylinder. Go into edit mode and select every other vertex on the top. Hit S to scale them out and do the same on the bottom. Select the entire bottom, scale it down and move it up. Delete the top face. Select the top edges, hit E to extrude and S to scale them in, then extrude down. Line it up with the bottom, then scale it down. Alt-click to select the top edges. Scale them out to make the top thinner. And now our cupcake wrapper is finished. Don't forget to save your model as you work, because if your computer is anything like mine, it's probably going to crash on you. Right-click and duplicate your cupcake wrapper and scale it down, then move it up to make your cupcake base. Make sure it's just over the top. Add a sphere and scale it on the Z-axis. Delete the entire bottom half except for the top 2 rows. Alt-click the bottom and hit F to fill. Position it how you want it on the top of the cupcake base and add a subdivision modifier. Make sure that in your subdivisions, your level viewport matches your render. Because the viewport is what you see, the render will be the final product. You can lower the level viewport to lower lag, but always keep the render on the right one. In edit mode, scale the bottom down. Now edit the cupcake to make the top look a little flat, but try to keep the sides rounded. Using the Z-axis while scaling multiple parts makes it very easy to get the right shape. And now we'll make the frosting. This part takes a bit of work and love, but once you figure it out, it's pretty easy. We'll start by adding a circle. In edit mode, select every other vertex and delete it. Now select all of the remaining vertexes and fill. Again, select every other vertex and S to scale them in. Now rotate the whole thing on the X-axis by 90 degrees. This will be our frosting shape. Now move that to the side and add a Bezier curve. Go into edit mode, straighten it out, and move one end to the center. Now create a swirl by extruding and shaping. Try to keep everything even. I find that it's best to do this from the top view. Make sure that the last one connects. Now select all of the vertexes on the inside, and slowly move them up, leaving one behind each time you go. And that will be the swirl for the frosting. Don't worry about getting an exact swirl, because we will be adjusting it a lot throughout this tutorial. Now back in object mode, we are going to select the frosting and add a curve modifier. Now click this dropper and select the Bezier curve. Change the settings to the Y-axis. In edit mode, extrude the face. Scale the whole thing down, then hit Ctrl R and scroll to add more edges. Now the frosting should follow the Bezier curve. Now adjust it until one end fits on the top. You need to make sure that you don't select the Bezier curve, then the frosting, before entering edit mode, because then it will just be straight. So make sure to select the frosting first, then select the Bezier curve. That way you can see the exact shape. To get the frosting to cover the entire curve, in edit mode, extrude the face and add more edges. Otherwise, it won't bend around the curve. So just Ctrl R and scroll. And just keep doing this until it goes all the way around. Now we're going to make the top part pointy by selecting the face and scaling it down. To fill these gaps here, we're going to select the frosting and scale it bigger. Now select the frosting and the Bezier curve and go into edit mode. Now adjust the frosting until it's how you want it. Once the frosting is how you want it, to delete any excess, deselect the Bezier curve and go back into edit mode. Delete the part that you don't need, then curve the bottom end. The top is a little too pointy, so you're just going to go into edit mode and round it off. Now we're going to adjust the frosting again. Add a subdivision modifier. Decide how smooth you want it, and now adjust it one last time. Delete the excess, and just in case it's visible, I decided to give it a bit more detail and finish off the bottom as well. Adjust it to where it overlaps, and now the frosting is finally finished. Adjust everything until your model is how you want it. If you ever move the cupcake wrapper, make sure to fix the cupcake base as well. And voila! A cupcake model. And now I'm going to show you how to make this heart-shaped topping. If you'd rather skip this part, then fast forward to this time. Shift A to add a circle. In edit mode, change it to a heart. When trying to bring two sides in or out, you can use S to scale to make it easier. Once you finish your heart shape, select the whole thing and E to extrude. F to fill, then fill the bottom as well. In object mode, add a subdivision surface modifier. As you can see, it has a bit of a wonky shape, so back in edit mode, hit Ctrl R and bring it up, then do the same with the bottom, and then repeat. Bring up the subdivisions. In edit mode, select all of the top faces, and bring it to the right depth. Then adjust the heart one last time until it's how you want it. Now choose the side of your model that you want to render. Select your camera, hit Ctrl Alt number pad 0 to bring it to your view. Hit G to move your camera around. From the camera view, adjust the candy heart onto the model. Make it look like it's pressed into the frosting. And now it's time to color our model. Go into Material Preview. This will show you the color of your model, whereas Solid will just show you a gray base. In Material Properties, hit New, then choose the color that you want. Proceed to color your entire model. I'm going to make mine a red velvet cupcake with pink cream cheese frosting. From your camera view, add materials to your model. I'm going to give the frosting a bit of a metallic to make it shiny. I'm going to add specular tint to the cupcake. Make sure that the colors and materials of the cupcake base match the cupcake top. I added some clear coat for my candy heart and added roughness to the cupcake wrapper. Make sure that everything looks good from the camera view. And now that that's done, Shift A and add a plane. Adjust it to the bottom of your model and scale it out. Right-click and duplicate. Rotate on the X-axis by 90 degrees and move it back. Now go into Render View. This is pretty much going to show you what the final render will look like. Go into World Properties and adjust the color and the strength. Move until the light as you want. Add color to the two planes in the background. Make sure that all of the colors are exactly how you want them. To make the plate, Shift A and add a cylinder. Scale it down on the Z-axis. Then scale and adjust it to the right size. Add a subdivision modifier. Then in Edit mode, Control R up, then Control R down but not all the way. Then Control R up again and extend it out and up. Position the cupcake on top of the plate. Make sure that everything looks right. Now to get rid of this Bezier curve. This eye right here indicates that you can see it while you're in Blender, but this camera indicates the final render. To make sure that the Bezier curve will not be visible in the final render, make sure to deselect the camera. And this is what the final render looks like. If you want to make more cupcakes, then all you have to do is scale the plate model bigger and duplicate the cupcake model several times until you have as many as you want. Make small changes in the cupcakes, like turning one, or tilting one of the candy hearts, or spinning the frosting around completely. Adjust them how you want them to look in front of the camera. I added a second light to the scene, not on purpose, but it works, so just add as much light as you want. Once everything is how you like it, render and enjoy. Thank you for watching, have a very blessed day, and remember that Jesus loves you.